Tony Nixon, I'm from the Open University,
Yes,
and I'm
Tony.
one of the invisible products of the Open University in that I watched those physics lectures at 3 in the morning when I was doing shift work, and I've ended up working for it. But I didn't ever go to the university for education. But what I'd be interested in is, I mean, there are these wonderful products that many of the people here will have heard of, Linux and Apache, open source products, and they've got people working for them in companies like Red Hat and IBM who would normally be competing with one another, and they're collaborating with one another in order to build these wonderful things. Now, I know that the Open University has Open Learn, but how do we build an environment where that sort of thing can happen in higher education, and what are the barriers to it?
Yeah, so you're really talking the power of the collective. And it is a challenge for us in higher education in the UK because we've grown up in a system where every HEI looks at another HEI purely as a competitor, and we kind of get dragged to the table every now and again, and we collaborate around certain things. But I think what you're talking about is there needs to be a certain level of maturity, and we spoke about it at the GISC conference this morning, where at a sort of a platform services architecture economies level, we just grow up and realize it doesn't make sense for us all to replicate everywhere. It was sort of the question I got before about would we share? And I think it's about recognizing what your USPs are and knowing how to maintain those, but recognizing things that aren't USPs, that actually we should be openly sharing and collaborating on and making mutual investments in, because it does work. And I think one of the upsides of economic necessity into this austere period we're coming into is it will force some of that. I've already started to see the dialogue change with my fellow Vice-Chancellors about, well, what are the ways that we can collaborate together a bit more? And, you know, I want to do iTunes like you're doing at Martin, so what can you do to help me with that? And is there a way that I could do this and do that? And so I think you may find that some of it just happens out of necessity, but it's clearly one of the things that we've got to face up to is that the model of us all doing it one time each at that point in time has to give way to us doing it more as a collective. The good news, though, is the technology, to your point, is making it easier for us to do that. It wasn't so long ago that you couldn't, because you just couldn't move information around the way that you needed to. Those days, luckily, are somewhat gone. We can do that. We can do that now.